Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here at my next YouTube video, and this is going to be my next Pokemon video. And what this is going to be is basically going to be a series of me just basically talking about Pokemon X and Y news. So this video, or maybe it'll be done in two parts, I'm not quite sure, depends on how long this goes on for, but this will be basically me talking about the news we know thus far. So let's get just straight into it. Have some notes here so I know what I'm talking about. And anyway, so first of all, what is Pokemon X and Y? Pokemon X and Y are going to be the upcoming Pokemon games in the main series. So this is basically going to be the start of Generation 6, the 6th generation of Pokemon, the 6th region of Pokemon basically. So we have like 649 Pokemon right now. And this is more than likely going to bring that up to like 749 or something along those lines. You can see the box art of the games right here. And you can see there's obviously new legendary Pokemon with this generation as well. The games are both expected to be out October 2013 worldwide, so that's interesting as well. It's the first ever Pokemon worldwide release. Usually they're out in Japan, a long time before North America, and then they're out in North America a while before they're out in like Europe. So getting a complete worldwide release is pretty exciting, I think. So everyone gets to experience it pretty much at the same time, so that's going to be fun. Now, getting straight into some of the main news, I'm not going to really cover absolutely everything we know. I'm mainly going to touch on the important stuff, so like the region, what your trainer looks like, some news about that, the Pokemon, and then a few little rumours kind of laced in throughout this. But the rumours I'll talk about will be basically based on what we know already, so let's get straight into it. And I'll lace pictures of the Pokemon and various stuff I'm talking about throughout this video, so you'll see kind of me talking and then I'll put in a picture, so just so you know. I'll talk about the region, which is called the Kalos region, Kalos, and it's based basically around France, because if you look at what the country of France looks like on a map, and then look at the region of this, you'll see the picture here. You'll see that they're really identical in terms of the shape, and so definitely I think one of the main cities is going to have the look of Paris, basically, capital of France. So, you know, European kind of inspired region this time for Pokemon, while last region was kind of based around New York and some other North American cities. So that's pretty cool, especially with the worldwide release. You know, Europe getting a game at when it comes out, and it's based on Europe. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it's just looks pretty cool just to get to see in that's one of the things I always love about the Pokemon games, and that pretty much most of the generations have a very different feel. Like last generation was very different to like Generation 4, and this one definitely looks like a big change as well. But anyway, I'll move on to trainers quickly. You can see a picture of the male and female trainer here. And the main thing here is, I suppose, that it's confirmed that there is some level of customization on your trainer for the first time ever, pretty much. So we don't know the exact details of how customizable your trainer is, but there's some level at some stage. We don't know if it's just kind of like event based, where you'll get to wear certain things, or that you actually get to customize it and get various like new outfits as you go through the game. But either way, it's fun to basically have your character who, you know, it is meant to be you in the game, and that you'll finally get to customize them to basically your own specifications now. Because before, like the only thing differing you as a trainer from any other trainer was your team of Pokemon. At least this time you get a slightly different look, apparently. As well as that, trainers supposedly there's roller skates in the game, which we're not really sure like what they play a role as, but looks like they're going to be the new running shoes or new bicycle in the game, or maybe they're just an addition where you can use a bicycle or roller skates depending on what you want to do. either way, a new way of getting around. It should be fun. Um, and other than that, it's just definitely kind of European, I suppose, style to the looks of the characters, and hopefully there is a lot of customization. Is probably the main thing to say. That's pretty fun. Um, I'll touch on the graphics now as well because I think for me the graphic enhancement for these games is going to be the biggest boon to the series in that. Um, I've always felt like that, especially maybe with Generation Five, Black and White One and Two, that they kind of should have maybe been 3DS games. That they just for some reason Game Freak kept it on the old system, um, and so Pokemon's kind of felt like it's been a bit left behind, not going with the times basically. So them finally switching from the kind of sprite-based graphics to the more 3D style graphics here, polygonal designs, so stuff like that. So is going to add so much because even from the various clips we've seen of the battles, it just looks so much more dynamic that rather than just looking at a sprite that's basically a still picture, moving slightly, zooming in and out, you're actually going to get to zoom all around them, various camera angles as the attacks take place. Which is something that we haven't really seen before because really we've only seen front sprites, back sprites, but this time you can have the camera angles where you can kind of go to the side and look at the two characters kind of Pokemon attack each other. So kind of like I think the way to describe it was basically Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Battle Revolution style. So that sounds really cool. Um, and yeah, it's just going to be a better experience, I think. Um, I assume a lot of fans won't be turning off battle animations this time because they'll actually be a bit interesting. So that's for me that's one of the biggest boosts. I think it's Pokemon finally getting kind of to grips with the times now, using the 3DS system, and as well as that, when you're just walking around the world, instead of being almost top down, you're gonna. I think the angle of the camera basically is going to be slightly more down, so you can see the grass coming up as opposed to the grass just being flat. Which is going to add a lot to the 3D as well, and you can supposedly walk diagonally in the game, and it's just going to make the world look a bit better. And that the angle in the other Pokemon games was kind of been slightly odd. They did a few new things in Black and White One and Two, in the big cities, but it's kind of going to be more like that in the whole area. So that's one of the huge boosts I think for me.